Alright, so welcome to TradeLens. In this video, I'll be showcasing every single feature that TradeLens has to offer, how you can improve your strategy, and how you can make the most out of it. The first thing that you want to do is click on create a new journal. Now you can type in your name. For me, that will be just TradeLens demo. You can also add a nice little description. The next thing is this journal going to be a backtesting journal, live trading, evaluation, so you're just passing a challenge right now, or is it already a funded account? For me personally, it's a funded account, so I'm going to click on that. The next thing is going to ask you, what is the account size? If it is a 5K account, you literally just type in a 5. Now for me, it's 100K, so I'm just going to type in 100, and the K is already determined right in here. Now click on create journal. You have just created your first journal, and the next thing that you want to do is go to import trades. And that is very important. Before you're going to import any trades, you have to create a journal first, because otherwise TradeLens doesn't know where all of the trades that you're about to import belong to. Now in this case, it knows it because we're going to import it all into our TradeLens demo journal. The next thing that you want to do is import your broker statement right in here. Now TradeLens supports a bunch of different platforms, prop firms, and brokers as a whole. If there's any missing, just let us know. The Discord server is in the description down below. And if you also scroll down a little bit, a lot of brokers or platforms have a pretty weird way of giving out their statements, because sometimes there are just trades that you haven't really taken. The lot size or contract size is just 0. There's no P&L, there's no price. And to avoid a bunch of unnecessary trades that aren't really trades, we have made sure that TradeLens automatically filters out those kinds of trades for you. So after you have put in your broker statement file right in here, there's a little button that is going to appear. Now press on it and import all of your trades. And after you're done, it will quickly give you a notification that it is complete. And then you just want to hover over to the left and click on dashboard. Here you'll be given a quick overview of your entire profit to loss ratios, your win rate, your total trades, how much did you make or lose, what is the streak looking like, and average win to loss. Here you can select different periods. I like to have it as almost all the time because I want to look at my growth over the time. As you can see, we have a nice little curve right in here. This is the TradeLens score. It is basically telling you how consistent you are, what is your profit factor, your win rate, consistency, and a bunch of other different stuff. Now, as you can see, me personally, I have to be a little bit more consistent with my trades. In the future, we're also going to include it that you can customize the parameters of each and every single option there is. We also made sure that you can journal your trades from anywhere in the entire journal, because that is the point of a journal. Now, if you have multiple journals, you can also select the specific journal that you want to look into. For this example, we only have the TradeLens demo, so that is our only journal. We're also going to add a trade, but just bear with me for a little bit. Now, if we just scroll down a little bit, you can see we have a performance calendar. That is just basically showing us a little overview over the entire month. Now, for this month, I only have 3 trades so far, but you can just click on this button right here and it shows you different months. And it just gives you a little overview of how you're doing the entire month. And that is also telling me, well, on July, I was kind of losing more than usually, so indicating to me, maybe I should back down next year on the July. Trading is a long-term goal. You have to think in the future and improve your strategy always. Scrolling down a little bit, it shows us our recent trades, just in case we want to look into a specific trade that we have just taken. Now you can also click on the calendar and it will give you a quick summary of the entire day. Now I have only taken 1 trade that specific day, and I've also won it. So my win rate for that specific day was 100%. It also gives you a little bit of more info about the exit and entry, but we'll get more into that in a bit. Now, and if you keep on scrolling down, it will show you advanced analytics. You can either press on this little button right in here, or you can just go up and click on the analytics tab. Once you have clicked on that, you can select a specific journal you want to look into, maybe a specific pair that you want to analyze more, the specific range, and of course, you can always add a trade from anywhere in the journal. The analytics tab is basically the meat of the entire journal. It is giving you specific information on how to improve and become a better trader. As you can see, it's showing us how many trades did I win, how many did I lose, and what is my average win and my average loss. And these statistics are very important. Now, it is telling me my best performing pair. The conclusion that we can draw just based off that is that if I'm really good with that pair, I should just mostly stick to it, right? If that is my best pair, why shouldn't I just keep on trading that specific pair? But it goes so much deeper. If we click on all to see the entire history, you can see that slowly over time, my win rate tends to stay the same. Of course, we have a little bit of dips, but that is a good sign. If your win rate is constantly fluctuating, so you have a bunch of spikes to the upside, but also to the downside, that means that your win rate is not consistent. So you need to improve on that. Now, and this is one of my favorite features in TradeLens. Now, it is giving you what is the best day performing out of the week. Let me quickly press on all time so we see the entire history. I have made about 1,100 on the Monday. Tuesday was also great, even better than the Monday. But as you can see, on Wednesday I made less, and on Friday I also made less compared to Thursday, Tuesday, and Monday. Now that is telling me personally that on the Wednesday and Fridays I'm not as good, and I should rather back down on the trades. That means that on Friday and Wednesday I perhaps should back down on the risk, but increase my risk on Monday and Tuesday, because the statistics say that on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I'm going to probably win. So in order to make the most out of my entire capital, I should just risk on those days more. So I should back down on the risk on Wednesday and Friday, but increase my risk on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That is how I'm making the most out of the statistics based off of what the journal is giving me. Now, it is also showing you a setup quality analysis. We'll get into that in a bit, but for now, let's just go down a little bit further. Here you can see the holding time versus P&L. Now, each dot represents a single trade that you have taken. And you can also click on it and see the entire summary as always. That is another very powerful way of increasing your psychology, but also your strategy overall, because we can draw a conclusion based off that we have a lot of different green dots right in here. But compared to this area, we have way more red dots. So that means that if the trade is going on for about 250 minutes, so about 4 hours, that means that it's likely going to be a win. But if we're going to go into a range of X amount of time, then it's most likely going to be a loss. So that is telling me that after it gets to a certain period of time, I could either cut the loss or decrease my risk, because I know statistically that it will most likely end up in a losing trade. So if we scroll back up again, you can see we have the journal tab. We have just done that, so we'll go into trade library next. As always, you have specific time periods that you can select: all time, 7 days, and so on and so on. But you can also select a custom range. For me, I like to have it as all time. Next thing you want to do is click on add trade. Now, after you have clicked on add trade, this window will always appear. As you can see, you can select your journal as always. In this case, it's the TradeLens demo journal. I've already put in most of the parameters. You're going to add your pair, the direction you have traded, and also what is the date of the trade, the time, entry price, take profit, and stop loss, of course. Most importantly, you have to enter the lot size or the contract size. It doesn't matter depending on if you're trading futures or Forex or CFDs as a whole. It doesn't matter. TradeLens knows it all. Was the trade a win, a loss, or did you get stopped at break even? Now, of course, you can type in the exit date, the exit time, and this is something that I haven't really seen in any other journal. You can type in your entry fee. So how much did it cost you commission wise? Because sometimes commissions really eat the trades up. So conclusion drawn out of that, I should rather not take as many trades as I do, because the commissions just eat up all of my profits. And this right in here is my absolute favorite feature of TradeLens, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. So let's assume that my trade was a win. Now, but often in your trades, you have seen it that after you take profit, get hit, it doesn't just stop there and immediately reverses. No. Most of the time, it keeps on going. So let's just assume you're trading Forex. And let's also assume that my take profit got overshot by 15 pips. Now, this is telling me how much money I left on the table. Now, of course, every single trade has an overshot value if the win got hit, because we can't just exit the trade right at the top or right at the bottom. But if you do this for long enough, you can have an estimated average of how much the take profit always overshots your take profit, basically. And you will also be able to combine that with the holding time P&L that I have just shown you recently. So the conclusion I'm drawing from this kind of information is that I'm going to increase my take profit by X amount of pips, because I'm just leaving money on the table. And we don't want that, guys. Now, of course, you can type in your maximum drawdown value, and also, was the setup good or bad? You can select, was it an excellent trade, so literally perfect, good, average, poor, or simply just a bad trade. Now, of course, as a great trader, you don't want to take anything that is below a good trade. For this example, it was a good trade. It wasn't excellent. It was just simply a very good trade. And I would have taken it another time if I had to. How did you feel during the trade? Now, was it calm, focused, sharp, extra sharp, nervous, rushed, or overconfident? For me, it's personally always calm, so I'm going to select that. And you can also add a couple of notes. I usually just add my confluence in there. So for me, it was the relative equal highs and the FEG. You can also add a screenshot right in here. You can either just drag and drop it or select it manually, and once you have done that, this window will appear, and you can also add more screenshots if you really want to. But for me personally, that's enough, and I'm going to press on add trade. Now congrats, you have just journaled your very first trade in TradeLens. You can click on it and it will give you a quick summary of the entire trade that you have taken. Now, of course, this is just for test purposes. Once you do that consistently, there will be a whole library right in here that you can journal and go on to your trades and just improve your strategy overall. Now, the next thing that we want to look at is TradeLens AI. TradeLens AI is basically your own personalized assistant that will guide you through everything that you want to know. Now, I have a little question prepared for you. How can I improve my trading even more? I would also like to know my most recent trading performance. And as you can see, he is straight up just plotting an answer for you and showing you exactly how the stats are looking like. And as you can see, he is straight up plotting, giving me a bit of info about my recent trading activity, how I can improve my strategy, and even more. The assistant is actually looking out for patterns that you are missing out on. As you can see, mentorship question for you. Looking at your last few trades in September, you took 2 very small losses on your CHF longs, and the amount that I lost right before a big win, and the win. Was this you testing the waters or scaling into a position? Or were those initial stop outs part of your strategy or process? So basically it is keeping me accountable for very unnecessary losses. Now of course those are just very small losses, but they do add up over time. And TradeLens AI is making sure, and TradeLens is keeping you accountable on those small losses as well. And on much more stuff of course. The next thing that we want to look at is the news calendar. We have everything put into one place, so you don't have to visit any other third-party site. Now, as you can see, I've selected the high impact news because that is what is most relevant to me personally, but you can choose as you like. Now, of course, you can select your time zone and just look at the news calendar overall. You can also see the statistics, what was previously mentioned, and what's the actual statistic, and it's constantly being updated. Now, we have also a built-in position calculator, so you can select your account size, the risk you're going to take percentage-wise, the instrument you're trading, is it a long or short, the entry price, stop loss, and of course take profit. This is very self-explanatory, so we're going to head on to the next tab, which is leaderboard. Now, the leaderboard is something very fun to look at. The leaderboard is just basically telling us how are we doing in the entire TradeLens community. Now, currently I'm the first, but as you can see, you can check out your friends, how they are currently doing, or just in general other participants in TradeLens trying to make the best out of it. But some traders really like to be private. That's why I've included such an options in the account settings. In the account settings, you can see basic knowledge about your entire profile, your full name, the email that you're using, and so on and so on, the subscription plan. Now, here's the thing that I've just mentioned. If you don't want to be shown in the leaderboard, you just simply press on this little button right in here, and you will not be shown in the entire leaderboard. Now, for me personally, I like to be seen, so that is okay. And here's another very cool thing about TradeLens. You can put in your socials right in here, because if you're a really good trader, stay in touch with anybody who's interested. Now, security is also a very important part for us, so you can enable two-factor authentication. For this example, I have disabled it because it's just a test and demo video. On this button, you can connect yourself with our Discord where you can ask questions, suggest things, and overall just stay in touch with the entire TradeLens community. Now, I want to quickly mention that we really take any kinds of suggestions really serious, and we are very fast in updating the entire journal. So don't be shy and just suggest the things that you would like to see in this journal. And we have finally gotten into the affiliate program. If you're an inspiring content creator and you love what we are presenting to you, then we would love you to invite into our affiliate program. And a very important part, we don't have any kinds of problems giving you a special or customized code for your liking, because we want to reach out to as many traders to this great journal as possible. So if you like TradeLens, then reach out to us and we have no problem giving you a custom code just for your liking, with an increased commission rate and perhaps even an increased discount for all of your followers. Now, the payment method is not only PayPal, you can also be paid through crypto. That is no problem for us. And that is basically it for TradeLens for now. We'll stay in touch and we'll keep on updating TradeLens to give you the best experience as possible. The link to TradeLens is in the description down below. Now, TradeLens is free to use. That's why we are only asking you for 1 or 2 things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone that would like to have a clean and organized journal like TradeLens. And again, if you have any further questions or suggestions, just leave them down below. We're happy to answer and keep on updating TradeLens for the best experience possible. See you guys.